Okay, so okay, so wedding season is about destination. And so the weddings that they are wanting to gather around to have their ceremony go down in maybe some of the most let's say romantic backdrops for the wedding season. And that is places like Hawaii, places that are really geared towards that type of vibratory correspondence between the polar opposites. And that means that Hawaii, the volcanoes, the beautiful like luau's and like aloha, this type of Hawaiian islandy type of summer, nice weather, very beautiful, and that gives that type of energy. So that's why it's probably really expensive and or lucrative. And then you have other places that are really nice, like maybe California. And so then you have to get together, you have to invite, and so you have to gather your people around. You have to figure out who that you want. And you know, I came across a really great type of invite for a bridal to figure out how to create your guest list. And what I learned was that that's why I ended up building a flow chart. A flow chart helps you figure out who it is that is like a must have, like somebody you strongly desire to have there, your presence to witness and be a witness to your to the wedding ceremony season. So that'll be something that's really lucrative, something that you can look forward to. And then I also want to talk about the groom. The groom is a really big piece. Like the groom, so it's nice to have the song in there. I think it might be Joe, but there's like, or maybe it's another type of entertainer or something like that. But what's a ring? It's like having a ring with no hand. And then you have like, well, what is necessarily the wedding season without any grooms either? What is the wedding season without necessarily having your groom there either? Like, really, is it a point? It's pointless. And then you have, I mean, so what's the point of having something that's not as sharp as we need it to be to puncture? Then if it's not really a point to it, then maybe it is a little duller than we may want. Maybe it might be a little less sharp with it than we may have liked. And so as you're in these destinations, and I just saw the other girl, Alexis, and they were in, I want to say Hawaii too. And the wedding was really beautiful, and it was very like a aura there. You know, they had like certain auras in different places of our country and like just in the world. And if we just talk about this, there's like the seven wonders of the world. But grooms are so interesting. Groom has their party, their bachelorette parties, and then the bachelor party. You had the bachelor pad, and then you get to leave all of that behind as a groom. So you leave behind having the bachelor pad to more of a family friendly unit, or you may leave behind the bachelor pad car, and maybe a nice SUV is what your latest thought may be in order to pack up your family and roll however you see fit. So you really want to kind of sort of concentrate so much. So, and I know brides are like get most of the rep is like being just the bridezilla or having a very negative attitude towards the bride. Like the bride is just like, you know, either like the not the maid of honor, but the mother of the bride can be just as bad and so, or just as worse in their treatment of things that's going on, because they're probably just really high stress. They really want everything to be perfect. They want everything to come off in just a perfectionist mode. Especially, I'm sure perfectionists probably really are struggling with this right now, and they are really kind of sort of like, oh, destination wedding season, the wedding season is here, like what's going to happen if she gets to go and her flight is earlier than mine, and what are we going to do? Like, oh, bridezilla. It's just creative, but stay calm, be calm, and handle things appropriately, but just do so with grace and excitement. Like, this is your day. So the young men definitely have their rituals where they kind of come across the bride's dad, the father figure, the protector of the home, the person who lays down the law. And now you have this transition of power here between certain entities. They've already did it. They've been there, done that. You know, they watching you, looking at you, because they're always going to be that backbone, that person that they can bounce back ideas off of and resonate. That's their sounding board forever. And that's sad to say, but every truth necessarily does have a resonance there of some type of sadness. And nonetheless, That's not always one of the baddest things in the world to have. It's really a